Bacon, 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 bacon.
Eggs.
Toast, toast.
Coffee.
Yeah. Hash browns, hash browns.
I had a start to this. I really did.
We start over.
No, we ain't starting over. Hey, just want to say, I did. I had a start. You guys really messed me up on that.
Thank you.
Anyway, just want to say thank you very much for joining us here on There Is a Better Podcast. It, of course, is the show about everything and nothing all at once with the goal, at least the objective, and possibly, maybe, hopefully, bringing a little bit of humor to your day. One way or the other, whether you like us, you love us, you hate us, one way or the other.
Drink.
I'm going to say it again.
Twice is
One
nice.
way or the other. Basically, it's true that we are proof that there is a better
podcast.
My name's DeeLow, and also with me in the studio is
Sudeo.
Sarah.
and
Not DeeLow.
so that would be Tony.
Oh, right. Process of elimination.
And of course, as always, you want to get in touch with us. You can do that how, Sarah?
By email at thereisabetterpodcast@gmail.com.
And through the Twitter.
There is a better, the number one.
And on the Tigra, you can get us at There Is a Better Podcast. Coming up today in the show, we've got credos, quotes, and sayings. That's really about all I'm going to let you know. We're going to get to the Wordhole, dig in, and find out what's in there.
Ooh.
Today's Wordhole word is, would it be a Wordhole word?
Vehement.
Yeah.
Vehement.
Mhm. Yeah. We're in a word hole.
Vehement.
Okay.
Shut your word hole.
Vehement.
Sounds better than open your
Guess
word
is
hole.
that the word hole word?
Anybody know what it means? I don't think this is an overly complicated.
Is it like strongly?
That's a good
Yeah.
way to put it.
Strong.
I would say somebody who's passionate.
Yeah, that's
About
also good. Yeah, showing strong feeling, forceful, passionate, or intense.
Hey, we both got it in there.
Boom,
All right.
boom.
very well
Ding.
done.
Hit that
Very
ding
well done.
button.
I don't think that is an overly complicated word,
That's the wrong one.
but you did the slurp.
I like that.
That's for you guys bacon and eggs that you had going, I think.
That's right.
Eggs.
Okay,
When I
that's
wake
the
up
wrong
in
one.
the morning and the longest I don't think I'll never make it on time.
The
By the
reason,
time I grab my books and it. Sorry.
He vehemently would like you to let him finish
Shut
his
the fuck
sentence.
up. Yeah. And I give myself a look. I'm at.
Oh boy.
are we done?
No!
You asked for that.
All right, because I'm saved by the bell.
Okay.
I don't think it's an overly complicated word. I just think it is a word that is useful and helpful, and it helps describe what our better recommendation, what I found anyway, to be a part of our better recommendation of the day. And I don't know, Tony, sometimes you will say that you do not endorse when we go to do the better recommendation. Is there a reason you do that?
That I don't endorse the better
Yeah,
recommendations?
I don't know. Sometimes you'll say that, and I just want to make sure I understand why.
What do you mean?
Well, because I'm endorsing this. I think this is good. It's Greenlights
Like
by
promote?
Matthew McConaughey.
Like promote?
Promotes.
last
I
week-
don't know. He's said it before where like we'll go to do the better recommendations. I get it because we're not getting paid to do
Like we're
any
not
of
trying to
this.
sell anything.
We're not.
But
at the same time, it's a better recommendation. So I'm always trying to figure out what does
just a
that mean.
recommendation.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't recommend it if it was something I didn't do.
Okay.
We didn't.
But that just doesn't mean that
we're not getting paid to say this. It's just
And
something
that's what I
we're
want.
offering.
That's probably-
We're putting
That's
it out
what I
into
wondered
the-
if, and that's
ether to the
fair
universe.
game.
Yeah.
Well, you're not endorsing it because you're not getting paid.
Right.
We're just telling people
You're just
about
saying this is something I ran across. This is what I find interesting.
Now, last week,
There you
if
go.
you were somehow able to get paid to speak at 1.5 speed, that would be amazing if someone had that ability to speak twice as fast.
I think
All my
that-
conversations would be at normal speed then.
Which they are out there. The reason I bring that up is
Like
because
machine
I
guy.
also wanted to send it out to listeners that we are not necessarily like we are open to people actually giving us recommendations.
Absolutely.
And checking out what you might have in mind or something that you want us to check out and see if we use it as a better recommendation, you can do that via email at thereisabetterpodcast@gmail.com.
I thought you were going to say that we give a shit.
We do give a shit.
We do give a shit.
We do give a shit. Absolutely.
Try us. We do.
I want to hear.
Again, Greenlights by Matthew McConaughey is what I'm recommending for the day. Now, before I explain why I'm recommending it, I've got to explain also that I have a very complicated relationship with Matthew McConaughey. I know you guys didn't think I had a relationship, did you? With him?
No.
I do.
I knew. No. Just
let me tell you the story. Okay, so I'm in my 20s, and I had this girlfriend who told me more than once that her previous boyfriend looked like Matthew McConaughey. Now, in addition to that, he was also supposed to be a wealthy stockbroker. He was a kickboxer. And
those are all things that you do.
And are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
According to her, he also had a 13-inch dick.
Oh.
So again, this is all three of these things. And I mean, I'm in my 20s. I didn't have a lot of confidence, and it's probably not surprising the relationship didn't last. And at the time, I had an inside joke with my friends, not with her though, because I'm enough of a what would you call that? Courteous enough to talk behind her back. So the joke was always, I'm no kickboxing stockbroker with a 13-inch dick that looks like Matthew McConaughey, but
that looks like Matthew McConaughey. I didn't hear that part. Okay.
Yeah, that was always part of it.
My bad.
So to this date, I seriously can only think of 3 movies that I've watched with Matthew McConaughey in it, so I've never really got into him, but I started to appreciate his life philosophy after watching some interviews and the occasional YouTube video where he'd be giving a speech of some sort, and in both situations, he always seemed to have kind of like this positive outlook on life that I liked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's got a knack for spouting out thoughts of wisdom in a quirky way that really, it only makes sense coming from him, which is the only reason that I considered giving the book a listen. And I say giving the book a listen, not reading it.
What's the name of the book again?
It is called Greenlights.
I have this book.
So you have it.
So do I.
I actually have this book.
And I hear
have
Sarah has
not
as well.
We were just learning this. This just in. Dun, 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 dun.
So neither one of you, I am assuming, have flipped a page.
I haven't gotten to that book yet.
I guess this is going to have to be one of those 5 books that I read. I finally finished one of them. About
You
fucking
did?
time.
Congratulations.
news.
I'm trying
Thanks.
to find the right key for you.
Yeah,
button
that's
for you.
fine. You don't worry about
Maybe
that.
I should just recommend audiobooks to you guys. Nope.
Audio, I think I probably will try and listen to them at work and then be so distracted by the audiobook at work that I won't even get any work done.
I can understand that.
Yeah, that's too much.
This is a case where I recommend the audiobook as opposed to reading the book for sure.
Does he read it?
He does,
Oh,
and that
okay.
is the point. And
So he knows how to read.
true to forms, in various points of the book, he actually gives out weird ass ways of putting things into
Note to
play.
self, 1 in a row. Any success takes 1 in a row.
All
Do
right.
one thing well, then another.
I was hoping he was just going to
Once,
stop at 1 in a
then
row.
once more, over and over until the end. Then it's 1 in a row again.
And he did, sort of. He basically is telling
Thank you,
you
Jonathan.
take in order to succeed at something, take everything one step at a time,
Sure.
as opposed to try to getting it all the way through.
Let's put that into practice. One
What are you doing? The
at a
Doritos?
time.
All right, fair enough. Got it.
Get back to work, you slut.
Okay, I got that one down. Let's try another one.
You
we
can't
go.
just. You
I
can't
don't know
just
if
stop
this
eating
was
one.
really
Doing
the
victory.
Yeah, I don't think that's where
motivation that he
I don't
was
think
really
that's where
looking
McConaughey was going.
to
But
achieve, but I hear what you're
Is
doing.
delicious.
so Greenlights, it's a memoir book more than anything. Tells a lot of stories about his life from a journal that he kept since he was about 15 years old. Describes the books as stories, prayers, poems, people, and places, and a whole bunch of bumper stickers, which is
really good.
very appropriate synopsis, especially with the bumper stickers, because he does a lot of those different, I don't know, just different sayings, and it's kind of cool. Greenlights is the title of the book because it comes from his notion of seeing a green light as being kind to our future self. It's the things in our lives that affirm our way. They say go, proceed, more, please carry on. And if you're wondering, yes, he does talk about all right.
Now, 28 years later, those words follow me everywhere. People say them, people steal them, people wear them on their hats and t-shirts. People have them tattooed on their arms and inner thighs. And I love it.
What a
It's an
random
honor.
space.
Because those 3 words are the very first words I said on the very first night of a job I had that I thought might be nothing but a hobby, but turned into a career.
One word at a time. All right.
And I'm sure, and you guys are going to have to tell me, I'm sure the book itself is perfectly fine. But again, my key to this recommendation is the audiobook. And it's because it's read by Matthew McConaughey. I'm sure you could do McConaughey's voice in your head as you're reading it.
I can see how it would actually lend a little bit more to
In depth
the
to
book.
the story.
And I don't
Yeah.
think the various anecdotes, the different quirky words of wisdoms that he give, I don't think it would translate as well. He reads it with his patented Southern accent, so
Yeah.
he's got that going on. He does it in a very unapologetic tone, which I dig. And when needed, a vehement delivery. There's your word of the day. In fact, the only issue I have with the book is that sometimes he comes off a little bit cocky. But I can't really shame somebody for being confident. It's just, and I mean, his attitude, I think most of the time you see Matthew McConaughey as a little bit cocky anyway, and I don't think he would have been as successful if he wasn't the way he is.
Yeah, I think if you're going to succeed in that industry, you have to be confident. You will not. They will eat you alive. He wouldn't have passed his first job.
No.
Not at all.
No, and of course that was the first well-known job was Dazed and Confused, which is probably where I remember him the most because I seriously had to rack my brain thinking, what other Matthew McConaughey movies have I seen?
You haven't seen.
Not
Well,
until that
I think
time.
you.
2 I thought of.
Well, but you say you were put off of him, like for a long time.
Well, yeah, because
of your association.
yeah,
you had a negative association.
The kickboxing stockbroker with a 13-inch dick, yes.
Right, in her words.
That's interesting.
Right.
But I'm just saying, so you had a negative association, so he's been around, 30
Yeah,
years now? When was Dazed and Confused? 90s?
Dazed and Confused was 90s,
94,
yeah.
92.
93, 94,
Okay,
somewhere
I'm
in that
like,
area.
what grade
Yeah,
was
okay.
I in? I had those tapes. They were really good soundtracks anyway. But yeah, he was, I think
93.
he won an Academy Award or he was nominated for an Academy Award. I think it was Dallas
Was it?
Buyers Club. Yeah, he played, I think he
Dallas
was,
Myers.
he lost a lot of weight and I think he was an AIDS, a man who had AIDS and he was trying to get
And that's the thing,
drugs
is
and stuff
I
to
don't-
help people.
I don't think I've ever watched him in a serious movie. I mean, the other 2 movies that I could think of were both rom-coms. It was Failure to Launch.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, which wasn't.
Did you see The Wolf of Wall Street?
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah.
What was
he's
he in that?
He's the one that's banging on his chest.
Oh,
and
right. but that's still
Yeah.
to me is kind of like the
that's
equivalent.
DiCaprio. Right?
Well, it's the equivalent of Vince Vaughn. It almost seems like Matthew McConaughey playing himself in a movie to me.
I mean,
I don't know Matthew
totally-
McConaughey personally, but that's what he seems
but
like.
his
he would be.
attitude came
Yes.
across as something that wasn't out of the realm of his everyday personality. Maybe. Okay.
Yeah, and even that negative that I gave, I still feel like is a positive because what I do like about the book is it seems like a very authentic portrayal of who he is and what he stands for. I still haven't finished the book though. Go ahead.
I'm going to hop in. Ed TV. Did you see Ed TV? Do you remember Ed TV?
Was it supposed to be something that was it was trying to be as
almost like
endearing as the Truman Show, but it came off completely opposite
Yeah,
of that?
it was-
Okay.
it was like a knockoff
I don't
version.
think I did see it.
And he is Ed, so it's all
Right.
about him.
Right. And I
okay,
think
never mind.
And is it like he's on a TV show then?
Yeah, except he knows he's on the
Okay.
TV
it's
show.
more like a reality.
Right. But
where
it was
he knows
supposed to
he's
be
in on it.
It was
Yeah.
supposed to be in kind of the same vein. It came out about the same time as the Truman Show.
Yeah,
Okay.
I never saw that.
Was that 2000 something?
99.
Okay.
But yeah, it's about the same time.
Well, like I said, I haven't finished the book yet, but so far I'd have to say Greenlights is good.
All right. Oh, I thought.
I had it there.
Sorry, I trampled.
All right.
You know,
that
he
is
was
that is him actually
Now is
in the
that?
book.
Oh, I thought it was going to say, is that from the movie?
No,
that's
that's in the book.
Okay.
he was also in a short movie called Making Sandwiches, and he stars as Bud Hoagie. Put that one in your IMDb pipe and smoke it.
Well, that's
Yeah.
That's quite a his CV is varied, right?
It's varied, yeah. I like the fact that you use CV. Nice.
His CV, yes.
Well, one way or the other, it was a good book. I do recommend it. Still haven't gotten all the way through it. You guys have got the book to read. Let me know if you think it's as good. And one of the things that got me to thinking about was things we live by, words that we say to ourselves, credos, sayings.
Yeah.
By any means, if somebody's got something, speak up now or forever hold your peace.
Ooh. I have a couple things that I say. I can't.
I have some of my own, but I thought you guys could go ahead and share first if you got something.
All right. I don't necessarily, I don't know if these are like credos, but I do find myself saying these a lot.
You gotta speak up.
I said I normally don't use these. One thing I like to say, it's not very constructive, but it's not an ish me, it is an ish you. And
You do say that quite a bit.
I do say that. I have said that quite a bit.
Why do you think you say it?
Because I don't know.
And
I don't know where I came
Is
up
that a
with that.
deflection?
I don't know that I've
deflecting
ever-
mechanism.
I don't know
Probably.
that I've ever heard you directly say it to somebody, though.
No.
Oh, is it more of like a joking, like just as a, not directed at anybody in
I
particular?
think most of the time it'll come up in a conversation where he will mention some sort of friction or issue going on in somebody's life, and then he says, it's
Okay.
not an ish me, it's an issue.
Okay.
So I've never seen him actually say it to somebody.
No, I don't. I usually keep that to myself.
I tend to say it's, and I think you've heard me say that before. It's never time to worry until it's time to worry.
Yes, and you reiterated that when we were golfing, and I was worried about how my golf game was
How
going
your golf game was going to shit. Yeah.
It's not time to worry until it's time to worry.
And this is actually something that I started saying to myself. I don't know that it came from anything. I believe I made it up, but you know how sometimes you think you make something up?
Oh, yeah.
And then you find out later that somebody else
Brainier coined that.
I always
Darn it.
said it because it was one of those things where we have the ability, of course, to formulate stories in our mind, and I see people do it all the time, myself included, where you start creating worry that doesn't need to be there. And my thing is and especially like you could hear somebody go into the hospital and then somebody goes into a panic. And I've actually seen this happen in my life where somebody's mom or something goes into the hospital and all of a sudden they go into, what the hell's going on? I'm like, it's not time to worry. And then it turns out it was something very mundane.
Right.
You know,
minor.
and it's like, and that's the thing is until you know that it's time to worry, stop worrying because it's not going to solve. Oh, that's the other thing I say. No amount of worrying ever solved any problem.
You are not wrong. Worry is like the biggest waste of energy. Don't you think?
Oh, yes.
It is the biggest waste of energy. And I'm
You might as well
notoriously
keep
trying
that
to
handy
remind myself.
because I feel like we're going to do that several times. It is definitely one of those things.
Something that my old boss used to say,
I apologize for nothing.
well, she might have said that too.
Sorry.
She,
Get back to work, you slacker.
yeah, that one I heard
that
a
one
lot.
I remember.
That
Yeah.
I heard a lot, yeah.
Okay.
I can only explain it to you. I can't understand it for you.
Oh, that's
Oh
interesting.
my God. Your boss said that to
My
you?
old boss
Former
did.
boss?
Yeah, former boss.
Did you take
Whoa.
did you take offense to that?
Again, it's one of those things that like
Whoa.
is kind of more along the lines of like is more like anecdotal type of thing. So again, in my line of work, we explain things to people, and sometimes it can get a little bit heady. Other times, it's just seems like it's very easy to understand stuff that we pass on. If A happens, then B is a result of that. And then, you know, the people that we talk with who are on the receiving end of that A-B conversation don't understand it, or they overthink it and think like, well, what if C happens, or what if D happens, or what if I do this and do that? Okay, if A happens, then B happens. There's no other way around that. But what if, and then what if, and then what if, and
Then you say-
and then she would say, I can only explain it to you. I cannot understand it for you. But again, she wouldn't actually say that to the person. She would say that to us as she's talking about the situation. Again, it's not an ish me, it's an ish you. Same type of line of logic.
It wasn't necessarily something she said to you specifically.
She wasn't anything that she said to me specifically, but again, it was just something that she said to me about a situation.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. I was like, if that's the kind of thing that you're hearing directed at you that is.
I'm sure she's probably said that too, or she's probably said that about me when I'm not in the room.
When you're not
but
there,
whatever, you know.
So she had the courtesy not to talk in front of your face, but behind your back.
That's
great.
I mean,
that's great. I did like that.
You can't backstab someone in front of their face. So I mean,
maybe that.
Sure.
I keep hitting the wrong button.
Something I actually have been using a bit lately, and I've shared this with my therapist too, and it's been helping me a lot through this whole process. Is when thinking about like taking a chance on something, or do I want to go in this direction with a life decision? Well, I'm not going to be put in harm's way. I'm not going to die. The worst thing that's going to happen, I'll suffer a bruise to my ego, and it can be repaired. That can be fixed, and I'll get through it.
And it's never time to worry until it's time to worry.
Well, the other thing is it's, I mean, and I'm sure that this is a conversation that has been had with you, but it's a growth opportunity.
Yeah.
And it hurts to grow. It always hurts to grow and change. It's uncomfortable.
Nobody likes change is always difficult.
Nobody likes nobody likes being uncomfortable.
Even positive change is a difficult task.
I agree.
We'll call it.
Yeah. Any type of growth or change is going to be difficult. And then you learn difficult. Then you learn and you grow from it.
Is that your statement right there? Is that what you're going to say?
Difficult. That's not a very good statement.
Change is difficult.
Difficult, like me getting the word out. Actually, I like this one by John Lennon that I found, which is life is what happens when you're busy making other plans, which I think is very true.
Yeah.
You can make all the plans you want, but everything that happens in between, I mean, don't take the day for granted,
I don't know. Are you a planner? Because you always Sarah, you seem like a planner.
Hello.
I said Sarah so that people knew I was specifically talking to Sarah.
He's gesturing with his hand to me.
Well,
this
I was
is a visual
gesturing,
medium.
but
Yes.
Only.
You.
I wanted the listener to know
bring
that
in
I
the
was
listener.
addressing Sarah. Are you a planner?
I do. I mean, yeah, I
'Cause you
think I
seem like a
have to be
planner.
a little bit. Yeah, I like to plan. I love to plan things. Don't get me wrong. I love to plan things. But I still
do you
find
plan to love things?
I plan to love things.
Okay.
No, I tend to have to make plans. I think that's just sometimes out of courtesy, sometimes out of just, budget, whatever the things. Sometimes you just got to plan. So I do like making the plans, and I am a planner a little bit, but I also I try and not be as married to it. Like if things go a little off, it's not the end of the world, and you're just going to have to figure it out and modify.
I think that's always been my hardest thing to get over, is kind of being an all or nothing type of person. Being married to a plan is so difficult to change right in the middle of it.
Well, and you, I think, are more like me, where it depends on the situation. Certain things you like to plan, other things you're like,
doesn't matter.
I'll just go with it.
Sure.
Good point.
Because
situational.
I can tell you, when we went to New York, I was very happy because he likes to plan that kind of stuff, or you seem to anyway.
I definitely, I had ideas in mind.
I love that.
I can't stand planning vacations.
See, and that's why it's complimentary.
Well, and so
because I'm sure you did something that he appreciated, and he did the planning stuff, which is not your favorite thing. So I'm sure it all worked out nicely. You rolled with whatever he planned.
Yeah, I did.
And you were just like happy to cool. That's what we're doing. Cool.
The traveling thing, that was part of the plan. The other plan was, actually, that was about it. Setting up the accommodations and the flight and all that stuff. Setting up the bus, on the other hand, that didn't go very well when we got there.
That's okay.
After
always something.
I don't remember how much that Uber ride cost us.
It was $100 and some.
It
was recalculous.
Donkulous.
Whoops.
But yeah, you were telling me I've never been to New York before, so anything that happens is new to me and exciting.
Sure.
And that just flipped a switch in my head. Oh, I have been to New York before. I know the things that I want to see, and I want to make that experience for you. but you're not me, and that's not going to be your experience. Your experience is whatever's going to happen, and that's what's going to happen.
As long as you don't throw confetti on my bed at 3 a.m. It's all good.
That's a true story right there.
That's a, yeah.
I'm very grateful that he didn't do that because I would not have been a happy camper.
So I think the other piece of that is like you knew what to expect. He didn't know what to expect. Right. But also anything that didn't work out, he didn't know.
Exactly.
Like you don't know what you don't know.
No.
You know what you get.
No.
And you're happy with whatever plans worked out because you're like, oh, okay, that worked out. Or you can see from his planning like, oh, this thing with the bus didn't work out, but like, okay, we'll figure something else out. There's more than one way to travel.
And that was the thing is it all did work out. It was just a matter of going with the flow and
knowing sometimes.
And what was John Lennon's quote again?
Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans.
Right. We let life happen.
Yes. Yeah. And you just have to.
Another thing that I feel like I believe that I say all the time, and I believe Tony, although I've never heard him say it, and I feel like he could relate.
One way or another?
Maybe. I'm not a perfectionist.
I
can't accept when it's time to move on, even when I know it can be done better. I don't know that he's always able to move on, though. You tell me. I think you're kind of like me. You tend to be a bit of a perfectionist.
No, sir. That's a big no.
I seriously have gotten to the point where I can accept to move on, but very often, in fact, almost every single thing I do in life, I always know it can be done better, and that is painful for me to just go ahead and move on.
You know, I think you're right. I think you're right. That's probably where I ended up on that "Tell Me Something Good" intro.
Bringing it back around.
Every week. It's going to be something.
It's coming back.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I'm going to have to hear about that all the way through the end. All the way to the next New York.
To the next episode.
If you guys got no others, if you do, then please share.
I guess another thing for me anyway. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It
looks like you're about to say something.
You go ahead.
It's very quick. I've had a lot of opportunities to think about, like, purchasing things. Again, talking about big ticket items. I think I mentioned that one before. If you buy it, then you have it, and you don't have to think about it ever again. And I only recall that mostly because of these microphones that we are speaking into, because right as this original podcast started, it was between Mike and myself, and I was doing a lot of research on finding like kind of inexpensive, some cheap stuff, because we didn't know we were going to be doing at the beginning. We didn't know if this was going to be fun, if we were even going to go past one pilot episode.
Right.
And so we didn't want to invest in much. So it cost about $100 for the microphone and the boom arms and the headphones. So it was like $100 each person. Did a lot of research, found some really good, basic bitch equipment. And then I thought, as time went on, it just doesn't sound that good. I can do all the EQ and stuff that I want to. It's not going to sound
let's
that
face
good.
it. I brought Diggler in, and you were thinking I needed a bigger microphone.
That actually had something else to do with it as
Mike
well.
Envy? Is that Mike Envy?
Yeah,
Diggle's Envy.
We are referring to the Mike Diggler.
Mike Diggler.
What I'm using is the RE20, and you are using the
Shure SM7B.
Yeah,
and so for the longest time, and you know this, and Mike would say the same thing, I was bugging the shit out of you guys every single time, like, should we just upgrade our mics? Should we do that? And you would say, no, don't worry about it. Can you still hear things fine? That's great. But the thing was, I was looking for a reason to buy these. And then Sarah, when you decided to hop in, and then this became a 3-person thing after a while, I just thought, fuck it, I'm going to buy the mics because I want to buy the mics. And then I was talking to a friend of mine, and he said, those are great mics. You can use them for, just gave me a whole laundry list of things. And I had already known that these were really good. It was just nice to know they could be used for other things too. And I thought, well, now that I have them, I don't have to think about them ever again. I've got it. It's done. It's done. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to ponder it. I don't have to pine for it. I don't have to raise money for it through a bake sale. None of that. It's bought. It's done. And I can move on with my life. And it's kind of a good feeling because, that little itch doesn't need to be scratched all the time.
Right.
That's coming up and saying, hey, what about me? What about me? I need your attention. No, it's not there anymore. So again, if you buy it, then you have it, and you don't have to think about it anymore.
I will say there's some truth to that. The only thing I can say is a lot of the times I've had to cut corners where I had to because I didn't have
the funds or whatever. Yeah.
And that's the deal is it ain't like we're making a lot of money doing this podcast.
I don't think we've made any money during this podcast.
So really, yeah, it's we're in the red.
Still in the red.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. I think the Stephen Pyle podcast has told us that
what the hell was that?
that was right. Red is a good color on
Stephen,
us.
I'm not even sure what he said there.
Jesus Christ.
He switched the two letters.
The Stephen
Style.
Pyle.
Oh, Keepin' Style.
Peven
Woo.
Smile.
No, that sounds way too trendy, and they're not.
I feel like you messed up podcast too. I'm just saying.
Motor podcast.
It's all good.
I meant to say the Stephen Kyle podcast.
Considering every week I get in here and I'm tripping over my lips the entire time, I'm okay with that.
I'm glad you said lips and not lisp because you don't have a lisp. But if you tripped over your lisp, so yeah, they were in the red for like the first 5 years, and I think they finally came out into the black on the episode that they were on. But then realized, wait a minute, we had to buy beer for your guys' bit, so we're back into the red.
I will say I was the one that brought that I thought up. I was like, so how much did you guys pay for the bill? And they're kind of looking at me like, what? Why do you even want $12, $13? Oh, okay, so you're back in the red. Oh, fuck.
Is that why they haven't been back? Is that why
so?
Is that why they don't return your calls?
Force them to buy another.
Is that why they don't return your calls?
Different beer.
They've ghosted you.
We don't do that segment anymore, so you know.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Maybe we should.
You had another one to share there, Sarah?
Something along the lines of keep moving forward. Keep moving forward.
Is that
something that's something you say?
Just keep moving forward.
Something you say?
I think it's something that we have to keep doing. Just keep moving forward. Just keep moving.
Is that like a credo for you, a motto? Is that something you just kind of every once in a while you got to go?
Keep moving forward. Just got to keep moving forward.
Do you feel like
it feels like it's, I think something along the lines with raising kids and being in a pandemic and then being until recently being in a job I was really not comfortable in. Willing myself and forcing myself sometimes just to put that in my head and do it. Because a lot of times it's hard to do it. Just to keep moving forward. Sometimes you can get really stuck, and I feel like that's easy to do to not make yourself move forward. So yeah, keep moving forward.
Do you feel like that can also be applied to other things like you make a mistake, don't dwell on it, just keep moving forward?
That is the hardest.
Yeah.
For me personally, that is really hard. Like sometimes I want to live in it. I beat myself up. I'm like my worst critic. If I make a mistake, I'm telling everybody, they're going to know it, and I sit in it.
Yeah.
And I have to remind myself not to do that.
So you're kind of your own worst
just keep
enemy
moving
at
forward.
some points.
And that is that.
Yep. Acknowledge, move on.
That actually applies to what you're saying. Like I've got a list of ones that I say a lot that I have a difficult time trying to get to. And that's learn from your failures, which is a good thing to do, but it is a hard thing to do and a hard thing to remember that there is something good that can come out of a failure.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But it is not easy.
Yeah, it kind of circles back to what Tony was saying earlier about just like making a leap, because you might fail. It's that fear.
Right.
And it's like,
exactly.
Well, I know I'm good here. I know I can do this. Mm-hmm. And even though I'm interested and I think I could do something good over there, this is secure, this is comfortable. And that's a little scary because I don't know and I don't want to fail.
Right.
And I'm a little afraid of whatever the thing is.
No, I
Did
wish,
I leap ahead?
I wish I had, because I had another part from Matthew McConaughey's book that I was originally going to play where he refers to future as being the monster. And it's based on what you're saying right now.
It's true. You can, and that's I think everybody experiences that for whatever thing, relationships, work, whatever, family, who knows, just getting yourself in a space where you're comfortable, and comfortable is like the worst place to be because that means you're not growing.
Is it?
I can understand that.
Isn't it?
I can understand that though.
It's okay to be uncomfortable.
It's okay to be uncomfortable, and sometimes
I do this and I'm not comfortable.
Sometimes it's good to be uncomfortable.
What? Bullshit.
Oh yeah, I'm not good at this, but it's fun. So we're trying it, and it's different, and it's uncomfortable, but it's good.
See, I'm comfortable. Maybe that's just it. I'm not growing in this.
I disagree with you.
Effective immediately, I'm done.
I disagree.
A couple.
Just kidding. Although I think about half of our listening audience is like, it's about fucking time. Yay! Just kidding. But
you are actually probably right about half of the audience doing that because since there's only two of us probably listening, you and me. Or you guys.
Oh, yeah.
So
it's like,
you guys-
the three of us would be
People in our-
2/3 of
And
the
Tony's
listening
the one actually going.
All three of us being the listening
goddamn
audience.
time.
I got some family and friends that
So
listen.
100%.
Come on now.
100%.
Yeah.
Others that I like, that I try to live by, are be the change you want to see, live and let live. I definitely try to do that as best I can.
You used to say, live
like the live and let live.
It's
like non-judgmental.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
It's and that is something that I actually found that I did not do as well as I thought I did in my younger days. A lot of it comes from growing up in a small town where there's a lot of judgment going on, and everybody knows everybody's business in a small town.
Sure.
So it was one of those things where I've learned to get better at, because I was like, who am I to fucking judge?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any others?
No. I'm good.
The one
I guess one other thing
ahead.
I would say is text when you're drunk.
Text when you're drunk? I literally thought... I thought you were saying like call a
Don't.
cab or something. No, you're just saying text
say
drunk.
text when you're drunk. Yeah, do drunk texts. That's a good credo.
I forgot about the
I
part.
got one final one I was going to share, and this one I stumbled on as I was like trying to come up with stuff, and that is his name was Bernard Baruch.
By the yard.
I probably got that wrong, but
What was the last name? Bernard what?
Baruch.
Okay.
He was a politician, but he says, "Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who don't matter, or those who mind don't matter." And those who matter don't mind. Does that make sense?
It just reminds me
I
of...
think that's an awesome freaking quote.
Reminds me a little bit of like George Carlin in his later years.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
he's just like, F
I'm
it.
not even going to say his
I'm
later
rolling in.
early years. And
Well, his early years.
And
Well,
I'd-
he got there.
I'd say
He got
this
there to himself
applies to
eventually.
Matthew McConaughey, too. This
Yeah.
seems to be the way he lives his life. And that's what I dig. I just wish... I guess you're not supposed to wish. You're just supposed to do. But I wish that was in my mindset as much. And I'm pretty good about not really giving a shit about what people think.
Sure.
Doesn't mean I'm not that, like, I still have issues from time to time where I'm just like, I don't know, I feel self-conscious, I guess. Especially if you put me in a group. Like I've told Tony before, you can put me on a stage in front of 1,000 people and I am perfectly fine to talk, but you put me in a small room with colleagues, coworkers, and I have to give a presentation, I get really freaking nervous. And I hate that.
Interesting. Now, is talking about mind and matter, it reminds me of this from The Simpsons.
No matter.
Whoops. I tried to
No
set it
matter.
up, but anyway.
Relax. What is mine?
I don't know where the failure
No
button
matter.
is.
Close enough.
Now I have to start the whole clip all over
Oh
again.
no.
Relax. What is mind? No matter. What is matter? Never mind.
That was back from the Tracy Tracy Ullman days. That's why it sounds
Oh, Tracy
terrible.
Ullman days. Yeah, that's
Tracy Ullman.
late 80s?
Yeah, 80 or 7, 88, 89, something in the area, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, one way or the other. Email us your thoughts and any credos, sayings, things that you want to share with us. Coming up in a little bit,
Wow, that
we're going to
was
do
weird. Let's just start that
a
all
little
over
bit more of
again.
that, but in a different light, and hopefully a little bit more humorous light. Not to say that we didn't poke fun of ourselves, because we do. I'm going to poke Tony in the belly button right now. There you go. Anyway, there's a better podcast at gmail.com. And like I said, some more silliness coming up in just a little bit. All right. Second half. See, that's what I wanted to do at the beginning.
No.
And then you guys were doing all sorts of weird shit, and I just couldn't keep my frickin' shit together.
I might have a quote for that.
Oh,
Yeah?
really?
Yep, I sure do.
All right, time to get into the second half of There Is a Better Podcast. My name is DeeLow,
Sarah.
Tony.
and we do want to mention that this is going to be out on Memorial Day. Now,
Memorial Day.
My thing is I don't feel like it's appropriate to say Happy Memorial Day.
Right. No. I just think it's always
Have
just
a great-
Memorial Day week.
I mean,
Memorial Day.
But if you want to tell somebody to, because it's extended, what do you say?
I would say
You certainly can't say Merry Memorial
I've
Day.
never heard anybody say Happy Memorial. I've never heard those two
Yeah.
words together until
Well,
you just said it right
enjoy
now.
your Memorial Day, maybe. I don't know, because it's
Enjoy your Memorial Day.
Well, because you
that
have.
seems appropriate.
I would say so. Is you have your time off.
Right.
Right.
Most people have time off. I'm not going to say everybody does, but
Right.
most people have time off. Some people, they go and maybe they remember
Pay
family
respects.
members. Yeah.
Yes.
Pay
Spend time with
respects.
family.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Or
usually
go
go
to
to-
a veterans memorial if they,
Yep.
if that's their thing.
And,
Photo
and
parade.
we should mention
Yeah,
for
such
anybody
things.
not
Exactly.
in the country that Memorial Day here is meant to
Commemorate veterans.
commemorate veterans that have
veterans.
passed on. For the most part, passed on. I think by now it's kind of extended outside of that now.
Can I-
Current?
Where people serving
Current people
currently.
serving?
So we want to say thank you to
That's it.
the
Thank you.
veterans currently serving, as well as those who have
Yes.
done what they did.
respect.
We got an applause in there somewhere.
I think we do, but I have to ask a question, though, because I heard this on the radio one day, and I don't know if this is appropriate or inappropriate usage of celebrating Memorial Day. And somebody said, this is I hope you enjoy your Memorial Day. It's a day to celebrate our freedom. And I thought,
I think that's a good way to put it.
I thought that's what the 4th of July was for, was to celebrate our freedom or independence from, Britain or, Britain. And
No applause here.
okay, well,
Oh, I mean on
I'm
the
not
board,
getting
not
applause.
you.
No,
Sorry.
it's fine. Go
No,
ahead
no,
and
I was
hit
looking for
the
the
pig button
button.
while you're at it.
No. Anyway.
Or the toilet button.
Just looking.
But to
Go
me,
ahead.
it seemed like that's, Independence Day would have been the day to quote unquote celebrate your freedom. But I guess it depends on what definition that you're looking at.
I thought it was more related
I think-
to veterans.
I always thought that
It
too.
is definitely
Yeah.
veterans, but again, our freedom, we wouldn't
If it
have
wasn't
what we
for
have
the
if it
veterans.
wasn't for the veterans.
Good point.
Absolutely. You're right.
I think it was a good way to phrase it.
Okay.
So I think that's.
Well, I guess I'm in the wrong then.
I wouldn't say you're in the wrong either.
No, it's fine. I'm wrong.
because you are correct in the fact that
I'm wrong.
4th of July definitely is a time to celebrate our freedom. But I think that was almost their way of saying you don't want to say Happy Memorial
That's
Day.
true.
'cause
That's
it
a good
doesn't
point.
work.
It doesn't work.
No, absolutely not.
So
No.
anyway, yeah,
At any rate.
we just wanted to send a thank you out to the veterans for doing what they do and have done
For this country.
on this episode. So thank you.
For
All right.
for what they did on this episode.
Now, with that said and done, we will get into some ridiculousness.
I like ridiculousness.
Oh my gosh, me too.
All I have given you an assortment of quotes. Some
I like assortments.
are silly. Some are a little bit more serious. One way or the other. There you go. I said it. God, take a drink.
Yep.
This is our version of Deep Thoughts. I'm going to have Sarah get us started off, and we'll take it over to Tony after that.
The fact that no one understands you doesn't make you an artist.
Ding! That's a game show ding right there. Yeah, you'll have to go the other direction. Doesn't matter.
Oops, wrong thing. Hello.
Light travels faster than sound. This is why some people appear bright until you speak to them.
You are an idiot.
A good friend would bail you out of jail. A best friend would be in the cell next to you saying, "Damn, that was fun."
Nice.
That's my friend.
If at first you don't succeed, try again. Then quit. No need to be a fool about it.
I love that quote. That's such a good quote. Money is the... let's try that again. Money is not the key to happiness. But if you have enough money, you can have a key made. I like that.
Scientists say the world is made of protons, neutrons, and electrons. But they did forget to mention morons.
Go! Ding!
Got a couple.
Oh, yeah, you do.
The world needs wisdom, If you cannot be wise, pretend to be someone who is wise, and then just behave like they would.
I think that was what's his name? Gaiman. Gaiman.
Gamond?
No, Gaiman from. We just talked about him like 3 or 4 episodes back too.
Vincent Price?
Neil Gaiman.
I don't remember.
It was for the what's his name episode. Anyway, moving on.
I love that.
It's Vincent Price.
Good Omens. Good Omens.
Oh, good Omen.
Oh, I like that.
Before you marry a person, make them use a computer with slow internet service to see who they really are.
That was Will Ferrell.
Winning.
Will Ferrell. Follow your passion. Stay true to yourself. Never follow someone else's path. Unless you're lost in the woods and you see a path, then you should follow that.
Yeah, don't follow that path.
Into the woods? Yikes. To be clever enough to get a great deal of money, one must be stupid enough to want it.
Make it idiot-proof, and someone will create a better idiot. There is a better idiot.
To be wise, think of something stupid to say, and then don't say it. We don't get to use that one too often.
Oh, yeah, it's rare. Inside you is a thin person struggling to get out. Sedate him for about 4 or 5 cupcakes. With about 4 or 5 cupcakes.
Was that a typo?
No, that was a Sarah. Oh.
Did you say sedate him?
A Sarapa?
Sedate him for that many cupcakes?
I dropped.
Money won't buy happiness, but it will pay the salaries of a large research staff to study the problem.
I don't like that one.
Oh, mine fell.
People say nothing is impossible. Prove them wrong by doing nothing every day.
Can I rebut that for just a moment?
Sure.
In that voice? Can you rebut in that voice,
Can
please?
I rebut, please?
Please do.
If you do nothing, your heart will not beat.
I'll take it even further. If you are doing nothing, you're still doing something.
Goddamn right you are.
Sort of in the vein of Rush. I am trying to get there, but
If you choose not to decide,
choose,
you've still made a choice. Geddy Lee.
Start telling people that the brain is an app. Perhaps they might start using it.
If you don't have anything nice to say about someone, make sure they aren't in the room.
Are you ready for it, Tony?
Oh, God.
I am responsible for what I say, but I am not responsible for what you understand.
Oh!
It was, that is, I'm trying to remember who that was by,
Wow.
too. But yeah, that is not,
That's the only thing.
it is
I
not
like that.
trademarked by your former boss.
Oh, there you go.
I figured as much, but the way that she had put it.
I get
she
you.
had
I
put it
get you.
was
She was in like a Dale Carnegie class or something. I don't know.
Probably.
Money can't buy you happiness, but it sure can buy you a big enough yacht to pull up alongside it.
That was David Lee Roth, by the way.
Oh, that sounds about right.
That
Yeah, it does
sounds
sound like
a
David Lee
Yankee
Roth.
Rose. When life gives you a lemon, peel it, and then squirt someone in the eye.
Never, never, ever argue with stupid people. They'll drag you down to their level, and then they'll beat you with experience.
Ooh.
I think that was Mark Twain.
That one is so deep. That's deep in the water, my friend. Oh, is it my turn?
No,
can be, it
I
can-
think
I
it's
don't
I thought it
know.
was Sarah's turn.
Okay. Do not take life too seriously, or you will never get out alive.
Wow. I would say that's very poignant. No matter how smart you are, you can never convince someone stupid that they are stupid.
No! And that's true. Speaking of stupidity.
Just reminded me of that SNL skit from the last season episode. Anyway, never mind. Go ahead.
Only two things are infinite: the universe and human stupidity. However, the universe is still unproven.
Oh, yeah!
All right, find one more that you like. Or don't like.
Oh, I grabbed too many. The fancy bowl.
Fancy bowl.
Oh, I'm getting a lot of these. On the internet, you can be anything you want. It is strange that so many people choose to be stupid.
I fear one day I'll meet God. He'll sneeze, and I won't know what to say. God bless you.
Right?
You better shut your...
That's,
Maybe not that.
got it. No,
Maybe
that's
not
that's God answering back.
That's pretty much on point.
Right.
1 out of every 4 Americans suffer from some form of mental illness. Think of your 3 best friends. If they're okay, that means it's you. All right, there you go. That was our wrap up for the day. I do want to say a big thank you to Nature Healing Society. That was their music, and I don't think that's what they intended it for. I believe it was actually meant for meditation, but it was very relaxing. And I like it.
I like that too.
I think it worked.
That was good. Anything else that we got to
That is
discuss for
it. I
today?
just want to say thanks for joining us here on There Is a Better Podcast. My name is DeeLow.
Tony.
I'm Sarah.
And as always, you want to get a hold of us or let us know what your favorite sayings are, or just
you
want to
live
tell
by.
us we're idiots, you can email us at...
There is a better podcast at gmail.com.
You can find us on Twitter at...
There's a better and the number 1.
And finally, you can get us on the Tagra at There Is a Better Podcast. So, with that said and done, remember, as always, we'll be here for you next week and the week after that. And we probably won't ever make money at this, but that is just not a very positive attitude to have, and Matthew McConaughey would not be very happy with me. So, I have nothing more to say other than if you don't like what we're doing, remember, there is a better podcast.
Better podcast.